All right, we've been sent another case to evaluate. Looks like it's immediate placement. So let's walk through the case here and take a look at everything. So first thing I always ask, again, digital or analog workflow. Digital workflow. This gives us the option of OptiGuide, digital DigiGuide, and CEREC guide. In this particular case, I would certainly look like CEREC guide would be perfect. We've got plenty of data here. Got single tooth site, perfect for CEREC guide. Looks like the question here is going to be about whether or not to evaluate the plan. Can an immediate be done here, and how does the plan look in relationship to that? So let's go ahead and take a look at our virtual design. So the good news here is our virtual design is one of the things that that I teach in immediate placement. Don't just make a tooth anywhere. Let's make a tooth on the. Let's make a quote-unquote veneer on this tooth to allow us to see. We know that there's going to be approximately 1 millimeter of tissue loss here. So in this particular case, what I like to see here is my existing gingival margin, let's say, okay. And then what I would like to see here is we know that on average, after extraction, we're probably going to lose about 1 millimeter of tissue from the trauma of the extraction itself. So that's an option to go ahead and see that. So here we can see that this veneer has been designed approximately 1 millimeter above, so it represents a good idea of where the implant needs to be placed based on the final tissue position. So in looking at this part of it, now let's take a look at where is our bone. Based on what I see the bone about right here, and let's outline the existing root. And tooth here. So and here we got a little potentially infection, so I'll consider that bad bone area, not good for stability. Okay. And now we can start to see that we don't really have a lot of room here for apical extension, and we're relying on just this little bit of area here for our engagement and stability for the implant placement. Next, I would look at the bone level position. So we know that we want to be 3 millimeters from here, and I can see my bone to go about right here. So I would say that this implant needs to probably be placed somewhere like right there. Okay. And then we have to also think about emergence profile here. Okay, so something like that. And now we can see that we're into the sinus. So we'll need to go down to 13 millimeters would work here. And again, now the question, personally, that's pretty close here. So I would personally like to avoid that. So I would probably go to 11.5. And now I don't believe immediate placement is a good option here. So in this particular case, I would take the tooth out, I would graft, and then I would come back and place the implant. Now if you were dead set on immediate placement, your options then start looking something like this, and then we can see how that affects. And even then, the closer I look at this, I'm starting to see the tooth root kind of look like that a little bit. So even there, I don't think immediate placement is a good option here. So I would personally recommend removing this tooth, grafting with bone and PRF, and then coming back to place the implant approximately 4 months later. Thank you very much.